What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mind Hiking Podcast. I'm your host, Brody Frye, and today we're going to be talking about another typical bonus episode. Just pondering life's mysteries, talking a little bit about the world we live in and how to go about it and where we find ourselves. Without giving away too much, we'll just get right into it. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Brody Frye, and here we dive deep into difficult questions. We'll map out thoughts, theories, and crazy ideas for the love of knowledge and growth. So, how do we answer some of the mind's toughest questions? This is the Mind Hiking Podcast. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet. I got dinner waiting, and I also got Baron in the room with me, and he gets, sometimes he's very good and just passes out on the floor, but tonight he's feeling a little more impatient, so. But I got a chocolate milk that my beautiful fiance made for me after work, so thank you very much, Katie. I love you. Today, I'm just going to talk very briefly, but it's been a long couple weeks. For some reasons good, for some reasons bad. One of the reasons that are good is I've been staying up late doing editing for another episode that will be coming out this Monday, so I'm super excited for that one. Basically, any free time I get, I'm working on that one. So that one I'm proud of, and I hope it goes as good as I am planning, and I hope you guys enjoy it, most importantly, as much as I enjoyed making it. There's definitely things that I can and should say on the podcast. There's definitely things that I shouldn't but do say on the podcast, and then there's a lot of things that I shouldn't and don't. And there's also things that I should and don't that I just haven't gotten around to yet, or just for whatever reason I'm just withholding. But a lot of that has to do with climbing, and like the higher you're climbing, the more people you become introduced to, and the more knowledge that you gain, and you just, there's this one podcast that I really like that says it nicely. It's just a new level, a new devil, and basically that's true. And there's, like, the higher you climb, the lonelier it gets, for sure, and which isn't that much of a big deal because we only got ourselves anyways, and you always meet new people along the way, and people will come and go, and there's people that always got your back for the most part until they don't, and then but you always got your own back, and sometimes it's just got to be that way, and sometimes it definitely feels that way too, and sometimes there's people that got your back that you don't even remember, or you don't even think about in the moment, but the information portion of it is a heavy burden to carry, because you find out, like, you search, you learn, you pray about it, and you try to gain as much knowledge and wisdom as you can, and then sooner or later you're going to stumble across information that you wish you didn't know, and and it's heavy. It's a heavy burden to bear, especially when nobody else will give you the time of day, and if they do, they don't believe you, or they think you're crazy, or whatever the case may be. And this can go for any subject or any topic that you look into. And there's but what I find too, like just having the podcast, is when I choose to say certain things on the podcast, I get people reaching out to me that surprise me, that think the same way or say the same thing, and it catches me off guard too, because like it's just like the information that people withhold. It's just funny, and that's why it seems like it gets lonelier the more you learn and the higher up you go. And society wants you to stay down and dumb. Society wants you to just go through the motions and be addicted to your phones and devices and video games and things, and just stay low and addicted to everything that society pumps at you to keep you distracted. And it just seems better down there, because yeah, you're still miserable, but at least you're not let down, and at least you don't get your teeth kicked in. But if you're on the climb, searching for knowledge, wisdom, and information, and trying to better yourself each and every day, and you still get your teeth kicked in, which will happen if you're trying to escape, if you're trying to climb, at least it only gets better from there. It's going to happen again. That's not what I'm saying, but at least in that moment, you begin to heal, and that moment's done and over with, and it's on to the next thing. And the stronger you get, the more you go through that, the stronger you get, and then the stronger you get, the harder it is for them to mess with you or touch you. So it's a decision to make, whether or not you just prefer to stay down like a good boy or girl, or like society wants you to, or fight and climb and do the best you can and make something of this life you've been given. But it's not easy, and it's designed to keep you from that. It's designed to make it challenging and keep you from that. And it's easier to stay down and stay obedient, and it's designed to make you feel alone. It's designed to steer you away from this. It's designed to make you seem crazy. But as soon as you seem crazy, that means you're on the right path, and that means that you're about to have another breakthrough. As soon as you feel your loneliest, a miracle happens. Something happens. It's just a test whether or not you want to actually have this success or not. It's like one final push, one final test before you actually get rewarded. It's like, how bad do you want this? You say you want it. Everybody says they want this. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to break through that final wall? It's like you've been breaking through walls. You're so bruised up and bloodied, and it's like you can't go on. But there's another wall there. Sometimes you think it's the last wall, and you're like, I just can't do it. And then you finally muster up the courage and convince yourself, I can do it. I can do one more wall, because if I stop here, of course, with my luck, it's going to be the next wall is the one. And you break through that, and it's not. And then you just give up. when that next one could have been the one. But you can also tease yourself or trick yourself too, and you could do that forever and just keep tricking yourself like, oh, could be. So you got to be, that's where the knowledge and wisdom comes in. You got to be wise. You got to pray about it. You got to have the knowledge and the wisdom complement each other, because you need to have the knowledge but have the wisdom to make the right choice with that information. Because if you just have that information, it's useless. But you got to have the wisdom on how to use it. Because you could be breaking down walls that don't mean anything. You could be going the wrong path for you, which I don't know what that may be for you guys, and most of us don't know what it is for us. Most of the time we got to break down a bunch of walls before we even realize what we're doing, and maybe we'll have to turn around and do something else. Which is fine, because we're learning, and at least you're doing something instead of sitting down being distracted and obedient like a good little civilian. Get out and do something. Make something of this life. Produce fruits. Don't just milk off everyone else. Don't just be a consumer. I always think about, this is going to be a stupid, dumb example, but I always think about, like, growing up, my sister Steph and I, she just had an amazing episode, actually, it's actually this week's, past Monday's episode. I had a lot of people compliment me on it already. So if you haven't listened to it, I had a lot of people tell me that was their new favorite episode on the podcast. So it's high quality. It's a really good episode. Steph, you did an awesome job. But growing up, we used to play Minecraft, and it's the same thing when you're just digging through, because your character is 2 blocks high, and you can just dig. So you dig the top block, then the bottom one, top one, bottom one, top, and you just keep going, and you dig out like a hole, and you're just going like straight. You're going like digging level. You go into the mine, and then you start digging straight. And there's different techniques. I'm not going to get into it for any of you gamers, but if you say you're just digging 2 blocks and just like a straight strip, and you're looking for something, and then it's like, we always joke about this, because it's like, what if it's the next block? What if it's the next block? What if it's the next block? You're looking for diamonds or something, and then you just like stop, and it's like, or if there's like a cave opening, you just got to break one more block, just one more block, and it's like, it's always like that. It's like just one more block, and then like, what happens if you give up, and then like there's diamonds on the next block, but you decided to stop there? So that's the battle within. And how much push do you have? How much drive do you have? How much motivation do you have, and where does that come from? Is that a limited source? Do you give up easy? Because this is all a test, and they want you to give up, and they're really good at it. They've perfected it. And they can get to the best of us. So just stay strong. Keep praying. Don't forget to ask for the wisdom along with the knowledge, because knowledge only does so good, and wisdom is only useful with the information that you have. So you could be wise with no information, and you might make good decisions with the information you got, but it's not might not be the best or the right decision just because you don't have all the information. So they go hand in hand. So just do research, dig for information and knowledge, learn about the world around you, and pray. And that is where I am going to leave this episode today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. And sorry it wasn't as enthusiastic as a typical episode. But I appreciate and love the support, and I love you guys as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully Baron walking around didn't leave too much extra noise. So I'll have to listen back and hear. But thanks for tuning in. Happy Wednesday, and I will see you guys next week for that episode I was talking about at the beginning. That one's going to be a really good one. So have a great rest of your week, and peace out.